I am here to tell you that the truth is nobody fully understands the challenges of the job of president until you've actually sat at that desk. Everybody's got an opinion, but nobody actually knows the job until you're sitting behind the desk. Everybody can tweet, but nobody actually knows what it takes to do the job until you sat behind the desk. I mean, Sasha tweets, but she doesn't think that she's thereby should be sitting behind the desk. Each of these policies, the policies Hillary mentioned, would help working families feel more secure in today's economy. She's actually got a plan. It's actually paid for. You can actually look at it. Now, the fact that we haven't gotten all these ideas done, it's not the fault of immigrants or unions or some liberal socialist scheme. It's very simple. Republicans in Congress and Republican governors have been blocking these ideas for the last 8 years. It's that simple. So, look, I just want to be clear. Not everybody votes on the economy. I understand. There are other issues. But if your concern is who's going to look out for working families, if you're voting your pocketbook, if you're asking who's actually going to stand up for the guy on the construction site or the guy in the factory or the woman who's cleaning a hotel room or you know, somebody who's really working hard, the working family, if that's your concern, this isn't even a choice, because the other side has nothing to offer you. The other side's got nothing to offer you. I'm going a little off script here, but I just want to repeat this. If your concern is working people, then this is not a choice. I don't care whether you're white, black, Hispanic, Native American, polka dot, male, female. I don't care. If what you care is who's going to be fighting for ordinary folks who are fighting for a better life for themselves and their children, then I don't know how you vote for the guy who's against a minimum wage, against unions, against making sure that everybody gets a fair shot, against legislation for equal pay, against sick leave and family leave, against all the things that working families care about. So if you're voting for the other team, it's not because of the economy. It's not because of the economy. You gotta be clear about that. I mean, even the Republicans on the other side don't really know what the guy's talking about. They really don't. They really don't. You ask them, they're all like, I don't know. Then they kind of duck the other way. Am I joking? No. Hillary mentioned how we operate on the world stage. Now, let me just say, I know the other guys talks about making America great again. America's really great. And just the other day, somebody was writing about, wow, when you look at the surveys in the world, turns out that when Obama came in office, the world didn't think we were that great. But now they think we're the greatest. They think we're the strongest. They think we're the best positioned. We were in a hole before I came into office, but right now the rest of the world thinks we're pretty darn great. And by the way, you can look that up. That's a fact. That's not like just something I just made up and tweeted. So, there are actually like surveys done. They poll people so you actually know what people think. You don't just assert it. And it turns out that's what they think. You can look it up. Part of the reason for that is because we had an outstanding Secretary of State. Part of the reason is that Hillary understood and continues to understand that just a bunch of tough talk doesn't replace the hard work of diplomacy. A bunch of phony bluster doesn't keep us safe. And she understands we can't retreat from a world that needs American leadership. That's why she offers a smarter approach that uses every element of American power to protect our people and to protect our allies. Unless you're a Native American, somebody brought you here. Somebody came here. You came from someplace else now. So I just want to be clear about that. And not everybody had their papers straight when they came. I'm just saying. And for years, the Republicans who run this Congress, they talk a good game about immigration reform, and then they don't do anything. And now they've picked a nominee whose only plan is to build a higher wall. That's not a plan. No. Hold on a second. I was waiting for this opportunity. Don't boo. Vote. Don't boo. Vote. Booing doesn't help. You need to vote. You can't be reckless. You don't have the luxury of just saying whatever pops into your head. You've actually got to know what you're talking about. You've got to actually do your homework. You can't just kick out reporters. You can't go to another country and if they ask you a question you don't like, just kick them out because you're in another country. You've got to apply steady judgment, even when things don't go your way. You got to make the tough calls, even when they're not popular, and even when they won't pay off right away or increase your poll numbers. You got to be able to handle criticism without taking it personally. You just got to brush it off and get the job done. That's some of what I've learned while serving as your president. That's some of what Hillary's learned as a senator and as a Secretary of State. And that's why I'm voting for Hillary Clinton to be the next president of the United States. So let me, I know I've gone on too long. This is what happens. You haven't campaigned in a while, you start, just enjoying it too much. So let me just simplify this. And let me be blunt. I want to be blunt. Can I be blunt? I'm going to be blunt. Hillary's got her share of critics. That's what happens when you're somebody who's actually in the arena. That's what happens when you fought for what you believe in. That's what happens when you dedicate yourself to public service over the course of a lifetime. And what sets Hillary apart from so many others is she never stopped caring. She never stopped trying. We're a young country, so we like new things. And I benefited from that culture, let's face it. When I came on the scene in 2008, everybody said, well, he's new. They don't say that now because I'm not. But sometimes we take somebody who's been in the trenches and fought the good fight and been steady for granted. Sometimes we act as if never having done something and not knowing what you're doing is a virtue. We don't do that, by the way, for airline pilots. We don't do that for surgeons. But somehow we think President of the United States, yeah, let's just get, I don't know, who's that guy? Come on. And so as a consequence, that means that sometimes Hillary doesn't get the credit she deserves. But the fact is, Hillary is steady, and Hillary is true, and she's been in politics for the same reason I am, because we can improve other people's lives by doing this work. And we don't care about the slings and arrows that are thrown at us, because we know that's how real change and real progress happens, and that we, if we're willing to work hard, can bring about changes that make life better for some kid out there, some senior out there, somebody who's unemployed out there. And it may take more than a year. And sometimes it takes more than a term. And sometimes it takes more than one presidency or even one generation. And yeah, that's old-fashioned. I think she'll fess up to that. But we want people to believe that their government can work and that their president cares. And that every child in this country should have the same chance that this country gave us. Because we weren't born with a silver spoon. And we know that behind all the division and sometimes angry rhetoric of this election year and all the petty bickering and the point scoring and the punditry, the ordinary Americans are good. And they are generous. And they are hardworking. And they got an awful lot of common sense. And we share a certain set of common values and hopes and dreams. That's why I ran in 2008. And I believe in those values and those ideals more than ever. And I believe in you, the American people, more than ever. And I am more optimistic about our future than ever. And that's why my faith is stronger about the simple American ideal as old as our founding, that people who love their country can change it for the better. I have seen it happen. I have run my last campaign. And I couldn't be prouder of the things we've done together, but I'm ready to pass the baton. And I know that Hillary Clinton is going to take it. And I know she can run that race. The race to create good jobs and better schools and safer streets and a safer world. And that's why I'm fired up. And that's why I'm ready to go. And that's why I'm with her. And that's why I need you to work just as hard to make sure that Hillary Rodham Clinton is the next president of the United States of America. God bless you, North Carolina. God bless you.